Good evening, everyone. Welcome, or I should say, good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you may reside. Welcome. This is Dragon XLS talking to you all from fucking wonderful Florida. Anyways, that was a horrible way to start. I'm so sorry. Anyways, we're continuing because this was a side project that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
This was a side project I wanted to do because as the newly named as Dragon Union started to grow a little bit, I thought, maybe have a little bit of fun with certain things. And I've always wanted to make a little bit of a talk show kind of thing, you know. But at any rate, enough beating around the bush. Let's get everybody introduced here. Austin?
Come about that. I'm just kidding.
You're not
Hey
playing.
guys, what's going on? I am a film reviewer as well on YouTube if you guys follow me as well. And I'm so happy to be here because for one thing, we're talking about, you guys don't know the topic yet. Well, obviously you will.
Well, yeah,
if you
it's
have
in the
seen
title.
Already.
Yeah, if
So,
they
yeah,
can read. If you can read, congratulations, you've gotten this far.
get a cookie as well for that point.
I have them right here.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Is it Snickerdoodle?
No, it's a regular chocolate chip.
Then go screw yourself. I don't care.
Okay.
But anyways, no. When it comes to video stores, oh my god, my whole childhood was built around going to video stores, particularly one which we'll get into.
Yep.
Yeah. So yes.
Excellent. All right, Gary, Mr. Garrison from NG2C Network.
Yes, NG2C Network, Mr. Garrison Film Reviews, whatever the fuck you want to call me by, late for supper, I accept that, and sweet tits, yo, all those fucking names, thank you, work. But yes, greetings one and all, thank you for having me here, Shannon, part of the Dragoon Union, as always, when it comes to a bunch of the bullshit shenanigans we always do. As the whole entire network in general, with Austin, your channel, mine, Lucas, or whatever, as the network as a whole of everything we do.
Absolutely.
But yes, once you told me this project, my nipples got so fucking hard.
Are you twist the nipples too, Gary?
Yeah, I'll fucking twist the nipples. Yeah, I was twisting my nipples like.
And you people who are listening into this now, you can take that visualization any way you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
I'm done talking. I just can't wait to get into the problem.
all right, and of course, last but certainly absolutely not least, Mr. Jerome, Romy Boy Latimer over here.
Jadimer.
Yeah.
Mr. Dumbass.
Blockbuster, founded nearly 30 years ago in Dallas, Texas, which is kind of funny because there was something that was founded about 6 months ago in Gary's ass. It's called Nutbusters.
Ah, shit, man.
Let me tell you something. It used to feel like a fucking vice, and now it just feels like if you're fucking an apple pie that's been dropped on the floor.
So bad, but so good.
Oh, yes. Oh, Blockbuster. Blockbuster was a pioneer upon video games, movies, and etc. Because, let's face it, many people, when you want to go out and buy something, like a game, you want to play it, you know, give it like a little test to see if it really does suit your appetite. And if it does, hey, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, right? Yeah, either way.
It's funny because in Japan, I think it's illegal to rent video games.
Is that so?
I believe so. And you know the truth is? That explains the reasons why games like Castlevania, like games Battletoads, and many others were so much easier in Japan than they were in America, because renting in Japan is illegal. Therefore, in order to profit, they make the games way easier. Unlike in America, the games are so fucking hard that renting them over the weekend isn't enough.
Dude, that actually makes sense. Holy crap, conspiracy theory.
It makes total sense.
Oh shit, man, my brain is like... Anyways. God dang, that's actually a very interesting point being across. But yeah, Blockbuster.
That's dumb shit of the network.
Yeah, right? But yeah, Blockbuster, this was a wonderful thing that has been around for so long. Unfortunately, it's very, not not untimely, but rather just brutal demise recently.
You can thank
Netflix.
Netflix and Redbox.
Mm-hmm. But we're not here to talk about its demise. We're here to talk about the days of old when we used to go to Blockbuster, rent video games and movies. Now, me personally, I didn't actually rent a lot of movies from there, but let me
Oh,
tell
neither
you.
did I.
Yeah, but dude, which is actually really surprising for you, Austin, but yeah, I mostly rented games from there, and dude,
Same here.
I remember one time I went to the Blockbuster when I was very young. My mom pointed out a game, and I'm so upset that I didn't listen to her because it happens to be one of my favorite series of all time. She's like, "Oh, I think this game might be really like pretty good for you," and it was Guilty Gear, the very first one for
Really?
PS1. I was like, "Nah, I'll skip on it," and I'm looking back on it now. I'm like, "You dumbass kid, why would you skip
You
that
know,
shit?"
Shane, speaking of that, I
Hmm?
also have a story of the very first M-rated game I ever played from a Blockbuster.
Oh yeah, I've got one of those as well too. But please continue.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what happened was that so my mom and I went to a Blockbuster and you know it was back in the days, you know, N64 had those, you know, KA to adult type ratings.
Yeah,
It
when
wasn't
when
they
KA
didn't
was
have
still around.
exactly. It didn't have K, yeah, it didn't have like, you know, MT, it just had K to A pretty much. And I found this really cool fighting game and apparently it was a little too mature for me at the time.
Oh.
So my mom rented it for me, and I was playing, and my dad walks in, and he got so mad at my mom that he actually returned the game.
Oh my God.
It was actually pretty cool. I don't remember what the game was, but my God, it was badass. I don't remember what it
Hmm.
was called, but it was a really cool fighting game. It was really bloody too. Not on the same level as Mortal Kombat bloody,
Uh,
but it was pretty close.
was it Eternal Champions for the Sega CD?
It was on N64, dude.
Oh, N64?
You dumb
Was it,
shit.
was it Quantum's Bad Fur Day?
That's not a fighting game.
No, that's not a fighting game, dude.
You silly
Oh, well,
sausage.
excuse me!
Was it Mortal Kombat 4? No, you said it wasn't Mortal Kombat.
No, it was not Mortal Kombat. Expand your mind. But yeah, I remember the first M-rated game that I played, which actually came from, uh, from that store, and it was Psyops for the PlayStation 2.
Oh my! I remember playing that game on the PS2
Dude,
from
I
Blockbuster specifically.
that game was so cool back during the day. It had a very unsatisfying ending because it was on a cliffhanger, so you're expecting a sequel, but a sequel never came. But yeah, I remember getting that game at Blockbuster for the first time, and man, it was so cool. But
Per-
What was it? I remember as well, not to start to get you off, Gary, but the very first Grand Theft Auto game I played was from Blockbuster. My dad took me to rent. I believe I was playing something, and my dad, he had heard that how popular the third Grand Theft Auto was because this is when Grand Theft Auto went to this, you know, the 3D world pretty much.
yeah,
It was the first open world sandbox game in 3D.
yeah,
Oh, I actually did not know that.
yeah, it
So
was.
so my dad takes me to Blockbuster, and a friend of mine was me at the time, and then he picks up the game, and he was like, do not tell your mother. And so he brings me back home, and then I remember my friend, I will say his name, Danny, who I don't even talk to anymore, unfortunately, way back in the state I used to live in, Georgia. And we were having a blast playing. We didn't even go through the storyline. We were just like causing mayhem, and that's what pretty much GTA is known for. When you first start playing it, you just start blowing shit up pretty much.
Yeah.
But no, it was a fun time, very fun time. That was. God dang, all the memories are coming back now.
Yeah. So, Gary,
Ah,
what experiences did you have at Blockbuster?
Okay, besides being a little arrogant child that I was, well, I wouldn't say that, but I was always a pain in the ass, like I am still. But anyway, enough about me. Continuing on, okay, when I went to Blockbuster, literally every time I came home from elementary school, it wasn't like every day, but I would always go to Blockbuster on like a Friday night. Not to pick up games, because I didn't get into video games until I was like a little bit older, like in my like 11, 12, like 10 or 11. I was getting more into like PlayStation 2 around that time, or I was really young when I started getting into games. But unlike you guys, when it came to renting games, I was actually renting movies.
Oh, okay.
Wow, so you're the opposite of me, huh?
Yeah.
I was the opposite. When always went to Blockbuster, I would always go there to pick up a VHS, pretty much of TV shows. that I grew up with, which will be discussed later on. But just to continue with the relevance of the topic for TV shows, I would always rent like Rugrats mostly because that was my show. Hey Arnold, Rocko's Modern Life, a lot of those shows, which will be discussed later on down the road, that we all grew up with. But yeah, I always went there, rent a VHS tape, pay like $4 for how many days we're gonna rent it because here in New York it was expensive. But at those
Right.
at those early ages of your young life, you wouldn't give a shit how expensive it was, as long as you got the thing you're renting and having a blast, having a popcorn, chips, and enjoying what you have from that store and making memories there. Yeah, totally worth it.
How many of you
Hmm.
hauled ass to return the video before they close down so you won't get charged?
Oh,
Actually,
dude.
you know what the strange thing was? I was usually on time. I never had to haul ass.
Yeah, I remember having to haul ass a couple of times actually. I remember there was a couple close moments where well, since I was young, obviously I couldn't handle it myself, or else I would. But you know, my mom would just be like freaking out, just like, oh, we don't want to get overcharged, and she'd always give me that lecture too. It's just like, don't keep the game too long. I don't want to be charged again.
Okay, every time when I overcharged, it wasn't me when I did the overcharge. One of my relatives, my pops, every time he would rent a movie from there, he would rent like fucking 10, 11
Oh
movies.
my god.
Holy
still-
crap, dude!
He still does it to this day, just picking up fucking movies after movies, like 12, 13, hell, even 14 movies, just, you know, for his sake of, you know, enjoyment down the road. But back in the day, Blockbuster would be like 9 to 10 at least for minimum. Why? Because it was fucking expensive. And yes, them late fees happened, and it wasn't good.
Well, and then when you
I will,
rent that
I will
many,
say this though. Sorry, Gary. I will say this. After what was it when my love for gaming kind of started to die down before I got the PS4. There came a time when my dad and my brother and I used to go to Blockbuster a lot, where when we used to go visit my grandfather, and we would buy at least two. My dad would at least he would allow me to buy 2 DVDs, my brother to buy 2 DVDs, and him to buy 2 DVDs.
right?
And that was something that we did like almost every single time we went to my grandfather's. So we ended up, oh my god, we have like cases and cases of DVDs. Unfortunately, not Blu-rays, but DVDs, yes.
Okay, if you want to talk about nostalgia, dude, I was never, in my younger childhood, I never knew what a DVD was when I was young. I was a VHS guy.
Yeah, I remember when VHSs, they had them all lined up on the shelves and stuff like that. Like I can still remember it as if it would happen yesterday, and there's just so many different things here and there.
It was just the idea that, you know, one thing I loved about it is that each rack, it had its own selection of all the genres when it goes from, you know, of the movies to kids, all lined up of those VHS that you can just go on, choose what you want. And it was just something. Okay, you want to know what else is something special? Once you choose the movie instead of the actual case,
Mhm.
well, they always gave you the Blockbuster rent case or whatever once you
Yeah.
pick up the
Yeah.
original one. It was just something special about holding the Blockbuster rental casing of the VHS or the DVD case. It was just something special holding on to that you just like, oh my god, I just got something from Blockbuster. It was just that weird
Yeah.
moment that you had.
Yeah, exactly. It really was. It was the exhilarating feeling of like, man, I went to Blockbuster and I got myself a rental. It's actually how I rented a game that was a Dragon Ball game for the PS1, and it was
Wow.
really shitty. But I remember it.
Jesus Christ, I'm hearing you guys saying, like my first M-rated game was for this system. I'm like, man, I feel fucking old. My first M-rated game was for the Super Nintendo. Shit!
What was that?
Mortal Kombat 2!
My first
man.
M-rated game ever was Conker's Bad Fur Day that I ever owned. My bad, that I ever owned. Conker's
Well,
Bad Fur Day.
Hold on.
The reason why I say Mortal Kombat 2 because the first Mortal Kombat for the Super Nintendo was censored.
Yeah, it was.
Not the
Oh, that's
sequel.
right,
Yeah, no, the sequel was. Yeah, it was.
Oh, it's
Was
way
it-
fucking better than the Genesis.
Yeah, but
Jesus Christ.
Do you guys remember?
Hey,
What was that?
oh, sorry, Shane, go ahead.
Okay. Do you guys remember how Blockbuster would be kind of dead during like the weekdays, but on the weekends, especially Friday and Saturday,
Oh,
holy shit,
dude, yeah.
they used to
Yeah,
be
it was.
so freaking packed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I gotta tell you, gentlemen, this Blockbuster. I don't know about you guys in your areas, but here in New York, our store was going on up until 2009.
Yeah, it was
Really?
our store here kind of died out in around
Yeah.
2008, I think. 2008 or
Yeah,
2009 as well.
because I remember for certain the last few things that I've actually gotten from a Blockbuster. I remember I got Watchmen on DVD to show you, Shane.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Um, um, I when did Fallout 3 come out in 2006? I think
2008.
2008. So yeah, maybe that was like maybe that was before Blockbuster went down in Florida.
Yeah, because you know the Blockbuster that was here nearby my home, it was literally like a 5-minute drive.
Yeah,
The the
wasn't it a Hollywood Video actually?
no. There used to be a Hollywood Video next there, and then they moved a little bit.
That's right.
But
That's right. Yeah.
I was actually touched about that for a second, but the Blockbuster that used to be here actually turned into a mattress store afterwards.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
so
The
The
block
Maytag store.
that actually, speaking of turning into stuff, I gotta tell you all this about something that is actually still haunting for me personally.
oh
Okay, the Blockbuster that was in my area, that was up in my town. Always went there, obviously all the time. But here's the thing: that place was actually turned into a hospital, like a MAC center, like immediate care or whatever.
oh wow.
Here's the weird factor: that's the exact same location where that Blockbuster was. I actually went to that hospital about my arm. But here's the weird factor. I was literally standing in the middle of that floor for about 5 minutes. Why? Because I felt a weird, strange presence from my childhood come back and say,
Mm.
I am re-standing in the spot where Blockbuster originally was.
Yeah,
Long time
right.
You know what? That reminds me of that episode of South Park where Randy Marsh rents Blockbuster, and it's like a parody of The Shining with Blockbuster.
Okay, speaking of South Park, there was an episode I remember that Randy Marsh rents Lord of the Rings and he rents a porno.
Oh, the return of the Lord of the Rings to the Two Towers.
That's
Yeah,
it. That's
yeah.
it. And then Butters thought he was watching Lord of the Rings, but it was actually the porno instead.
Oh, by the way, I think us gentlemen forgot a certain store besides Blockbuster.
What's that?
It was what the fuck was the name of it? It was Hollywood something.
Hollywood
Oh,
Video.
Porno
Hollywood-
video, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hollywood Video. That was another besides Blockbuster. That was another big video store.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't as quite as big as Blockbuster was, but I still remember going in there and still checking out all the stuff they had. They had a very interesting selection. But I would always make that mental like note and always tell my mom as well. I was like, this place is not as good as Blockbuster.
Because here's the thing about Hollywood Video, it was obviously more of like how do you say, it was more like in competition with that Blockbuster. But Blockbuster, they've always okay. The word Blockbuster. This is a really good word to say, Blockbuster.
It is. It's a good one.
But anyways, getting back to the case, as it is, you're welcome. It's just Blockbuster. They've always had a very good selection when it comes to almost anything.
They really did. They had a very excellent selection of all sorts of things.
Always, man. Always had a good selection when it came to movies from the 80s, 90s, or whatever.
And you know what the interesting thing is too, is that their supply wasn't limited just to like video games and movies.
Oh,
They had all,
yeah, it
they had all
was.
sorts of other stuff too. And I remember it's actually thanks to this Blockbuster that used to be here. It was actually where I got one of my Mario Kart figures from as well too.
Oh, wow.
You know what I actually do? Hold on, I'll discuss this off camera.
All right.
One thing I do want to mention as well is that there is a story I have. So Halloween came around, or was it Halloween? Yes, it was Halloween. Okay, so it was Halloween. It was when Fallout 3 came out.
Okay.
And so basically my mom wanted to watch a horror film for Halloween. I'm pronouncing it horror instead of horror because that's the proper how to pronounce it these days.
Oh,
Um,
how dare you, you whore!
You fucking whore.
So, okay, and my aunt was coming over, and so we're like, okay, so what should we watch? So I just said, how about this? And she was like, she's not gonna like that. And so my mom was like, how about this? And it was The Happening.
Oh.
Oh my god, one of the worst fucking movies!
And Jesus God, like I was telling her, all right. And so then after that, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go play some Fallout 3 right now. It was just, I remember laughing so hard, but I was just thinking, I just want to play Fallout right now.
Oh man.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know about your guys' Blockbuster, but one thing I remember is that most of the Blockbuster movies here, they've always had like a big billboard. Here in my area, they had this big like billboard sign that had like these flashing lights surrounding it of the biggest, most popular rented films. That is, being rented popularly. Okay, it's hard to explain what it was. It was like one of those big billboards that had the flashing lights surrounding it. They always have like a movie poster in that specific spot of the most popular rented films.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Guys, that's what it was here. That didn't last long, but it was going on for quite some time.
Yeah.
Here in my area, which was really, really fucking cool. That's all. I think that's...
Okay,
Man,
I started choking my own spit for a moment.
Well, I think that almost pretty much does it for this episode because we're about to get we're 20 minutes in. But I mean, if you still got some more things to say about it, then yeah.
I was gonna say I have one more story.
Okay.
One more.
Go on ahead.
Okay, so before Modern Warfare, this was when Modern Warfare 2 came out.
Oh man, that a while ago.
Oh, yes, it was. And I actually remember, well, the last times I went to Blockbusters was when I rented Halo Master Chief Collection and what was it, Fast Times at Ridgemont High for the first time.
Okay, that was the movie where even Blockbuster stated this, that they had a lot of takes. Was it that movie? Because the infamous, topless sequence?
Yes, it does.
Because so many tapes came returned kind of fucked up because they kept rewinding and playing.
Oh yeah, I remember the courteous thing that you need to do when it came to Blockbuster was to rewind and before you do that. But I mean, that was
Always notice.
yeah, always rewind before you turn your tape back in. Just be courteous.
But anyways, going back to the Modern Warfare 2 thing. So I remember in high school, what was it? I talked to my friend Matt, and I was just like, I'm gonna write Modern Warfare 2 today. And he's like, you better call Blockbuster because they're gonna be sold out. I was like, all right, I'll check. And so I called them, and they're like, and I was like, do you guys have any copies of Modern Warfare 2? And they said, yeah, we got plenty of them. And I was like, oh, thank goodness for that. And I asked them to reserve a copy, and they did. And unfortunately, that was the same day that I ended up cutting my finger open.
Oh man.
You remember that chain, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
That was Friday the 13th.
Ironically.
We're Friday the 13th, and I still have the scar to prove it too. Still have the scar.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I still remember having to call them and see, because the thing was, when you asked them, I'm not sure if it was like for everybody else, but like I remember when you had to come ask them to reserve something, it was never 100% chance they'd ever do it. They'll say yeah, but they sometimes wouldn't do it, and it's just like, you bastards.
God, yeah, that was I mean, I have more to say, but I don't want it to go over 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're at the 23 mark, so.
Wow, I can seriously. I mean, when it comes to Blockbuster, I mean, like I said, I went there on like Friday night or weekends or whatever. But like I said about Blockbuster, conclude my thoughts about the whole entire store itself. Blockbuster is definitely a childhood memory that will always be remembered to all of us and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So from what I heard, there's actually about at least 2 or 3 Blockbuster stores still remaining throughout the United States. And Chris
I think there's 10 or 11.
Not to mention this guy, but
Yeah.
as a movie reviewer, I'm not gonna bother saying my thoughts. Just keep it between us. But I saw his video, and I gotta admit that video was really cool. Where he actually did a video where he went to a legitimate Blockbuster that's still open.
Yes, Chris Tuckman did. Yeah, he did that.
Yeah, wow.
That video was actually really cool. So much respect for that.
Ah, nice. Very good then.
yeah, Blockbuster is definitely going to be that good inner haunting childhood that we're always going to have.
Wow.
I
Well,
thought,
Jerome, do you have any other thoughts about Blockbuster? Any stories you'd like to share?
Oh no, I didn't really say too much, but you know,
Yeah.
it's like I said, I went there most of the time for the games.
Yeah,
Uh,
right. I think we all did, besides Gary here. So.
yeah,
yeah,
I was,
especially for the Super Nintendo. You know, what was the last game I rented? I had to rent it twice because it was so good that I ended up buying it.
Mhm.
Was way later on, Manhunt.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
Because
Still
I
haven't
heard
beaten that
about
game on the PS4. Still haven't beaten it.
dude, oh, it's a hard fucking game. I remember playing it when I was doing the fucking kills. I was like, hey mom, come here, look at this. And I was like,
Oh,
and there's
Jesus.
there's the if you there's 3 kills each, and you do the you know, there's a violent kill. Oh, no, there's a regular kill, a violent kill, and a gruesome kill. It depends on how long you hold the button. And I was shown the kill with a fucking plastic bag where he just takes the plastic bag, holds it over his face, and just starts fucking decking him in the face nonstop and breaks his neck. My mom's like, what the fuck? I'm like, I know, right? and then I take the baseball bat, and the third kill is where he chokes behind, and
Yeah.
it's like he's all dancing on his knees, and he just does like a fucking Barry Bonds swing, boom, and his fucking head just goes just explodes in chunks, and my mom's like, Jesus fuck, and I was laughing.
Oh man, we are a couple of the
That was
start.
the last game I rented from there was Manhunt
Yeah,
when it came out.
I can't honestly remember the last one I rented. I know that a friend of mine rented Mario Party 2, but the place closed down, so he didn't have to
Oh.
return it
wow.
back.
What was the? I remember
I-
renting the WWE Royal Rumble and Raw for the Super Nintendo a lot.
Yeah.
as for me,
What's that?
I was going to say the last thing I remember renting from a Blockbuster was, oh, what the hell was it? I can't even remember because it was so long ago.
Yeah, it's.
Oh,
I,
I remember renting one game and I was playing. I was like, this game fucking sucks. It was the NES version of RoboCop.
Oh God. Yeah, there was one
Like,
game
man,
like
fuck
that.
this game, dude.
There was a game like that I did as well too that I rented from Blockbuster. It was a SpongeBob game, and keep in mind I was like, it was for the PS1, and keep in mind though I was still pretty young, but I still beat this game in a matter of 3 hours. So it was really
Oh,
short.
jeez.
If I went to it now, I'd probably can beat it in like 30 minutes. Speedrun that bitch. But
As for me, fuck, man, I don't.
you don't remember?
Okay, I remember this. Back in my younger years, I don't know about you guys, but they sold this candy bar. Okay, do you remember those Nestle's Wonka bars they had?
Oh yeah, dude.
Them Nestle Wonka bars. I always bought one of those every time I got a movie from there.
You know
Every
what?
single.
That's funny that you mentioned that. I was just thinking about that. Is that every single time I wanted to get something besides, a game or something like that, when it came to Blockbuster, I'd always get one of two things. One, cotton candy, or two, Mike and Ike's.
Oh my God.
Okay, Shannon, you and me. Oh yes, it's meant to be. Fuck, Mike and Ike's greatest candy ever.
Mhm. I just had me a bag, like, a couple days ago.
But yeah, dude, as for those Wonka boys I was talking about here, this is what I always bought. I like either one or two of them from Nestle. These are the ones right here I got all the time. Dad got pissed about it, but you know what? I was only young.
Mmm.
Dude. What I wouldn't do to get another Wonka bar again.
Those definitely were the shit.
I
back-
got a golden ticket.
By the way, speaking of that, just for that sake, I decided to make one of these, even though it's not all that good.
Oh, okay. Very
Oh,
interesting.
nice.
Just for the hell of it, because, childhood, just for the
Yeah.
hell of it.
Oh, yeah, man. Absolutely. Well,
I think that pretty much.
Yeah, that pretty much covers it. That's pretty good reminiscing there, man. Shit, that was good. All right, well.
It was not really all that special.
Well, yeah, because you were in it.
Oh, so mean.
Well,
Anyway,
actually, not special ed.
You want to know the sad part was? Throughout my childhood, I wasn't special ed, and I'm not being afraid to admit that.
we're all special snowflakes in here, which means we're basically the same. Anyways,
Oh yeah.
so with that being said, I want to thank you all, well, not both, I should say, all three of you here for joining me in reminiscing about random shit that doesn't really have any matter in the world, but still, it mattered to us.
I know one thing that does matter. Hey, Gary, rule brewery.
That bullshit. I'm not saying that bullshit.
Oh, that's
That bullshit, but
that's
yeah.
gonna be a Dragon Union joke. I swear to God, that's gonna be a Union joke and completely.
I'm so glad I found that. It's probably the greatest thing ever.
It really is. But with that being said, I want to thank you guys for joining me, and everyone else who is watching and or listening. This is mostly a listening thing, so. With that being the case, join us next time when we reminisce about something else. Who knows what it'll be until then. But for now, if you guys liked what you saw, go ahead and like, comment, and share the video. And if you want to see more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me, if you would.
Okay, Bill Cosby.
Subscribe button or I'll put toys in your drink. Anyways, with that being said, was that too soon?
Jesus, dude.
Was that too soon? Okay, but anyways, with that being said, and if you
I figured you could put something in that Jello.
yeah, right. Jewel pudding. But yeah, if you start to feel if you're still starting to feel the room spinning, that just means it's working. But anyways, with that being, what?
Have you seen Double? All right, we're good. We're
talking.
Good with
By the way, there was another thing I forgot to talk about.
What's that?
Blockbuster. In my area, they always did a monthly contest where you can try and win either a free gift card or a Blockbuster exclusive product like a water bottle, a T-shirt,
Water bottle.
or something exclusive. And if you do one of those filling papers for Blockbuster or do one of them random number drawings, or you answer a trivia question about a movie.
Neat.
I never did that shit when I was young, but I knew exactly what it was when I seen it because, like I said, I knew what it was, but that's what had happened here in my area.
Neat.
So, definitely brings back memories about that. But overall, here's what I gotta say about what we're talking about. I feel like an ass about this, but kids today, like who's gonna grow up who grew up in like '99 or 2006 or 2001 or wherever the hell you were born. I sound like an ass. I don't know if they're gonna truly understand of what we did growing up and whatnot.
No, they will not, because now they have Redbox and stuff.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
won't ever know the joy of going into a store and renting things. So.
Because that was before there was Redbox and Netflix, Blockbuster was the shit. I'm gonna stop muffling because I know we're gonna...
You gotta wrap it up for right now. But, as I said, if you guys liked what you saw, you can go ahead and hit the like, subscribe button. And Gary just decided to run across the thing as a freaking blur. Damn, he was faster than the Flash. Damn, man. But anyways, with that wow, what a hell of a way
That's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, definitely. What a way to end a fucking show, too. Damn. Anyways, with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. And if you have any suggestions about things that we want to talk about and reminisce on, go ahead and put it in the comment section. But with that being said, thanks again for watching. We'll see you all next time. And as always, keep stylish and have a great night, or morning, or afternoon.
I love you.